I just think about one heck of a ride that you two have been on together. This month marks 10 years from when you and Gwen met filming The Voice.
That's right.
I am a huge Blake fan. After watching him on TV with my kids and then getting here, he has such a great perspective on music. I just love that guy.
When you think back at the last decade and when you first met, I feel like people could say your personal lives were falling apart, but I would argue that the pieces were all falling together.
Yeah, falling
Do you
together,
feel
yeah.
like that too?
Yeah, we would never known it at the time. You know, when we first season she was on The Voice, we met. We really didn't talk that much. I mean, she had just had a baby and it's met her for the first time, so you would see her out, you know, at the red chairs, and if there was a production meeting or whatever, and I feel like I got to know Pharrell more that year than I did Gwen, you know, and it wasn't until the season she came back, the next one, that the pieces were falling together, I guess, like you're saying.
Into place.
Yeah, and so it was like never would have, if you would have told me the first season that we met that what was going to happen, I would have been like, no, we actually don't even have anything to even talk about. You know, what are you talking about? It's crazy how things work out.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you ever imagine a love like this?
No, oh my God. But I don't know how you can. I don't know how you can imagine that when you find that life partner, that missing piece, you know, you didn't know it was missing, you know, or I didn't. And so now that it's there, it's like, golly, you can go ahead and kill me if this ever goes away or ends or something happens. It's like, that's just, there's no going back now.
What do you hope the next 10 years looks like for you two?
If I could have a repeat of these past 10 years would be perfect, you know. But you know, next month we've got an 18-year-old, which blows my mind. that already happened, and in a couple of years we'll have another 18-year-old, and that's, so you know, it's going to be probably, I guess, a lot more alone time, which I'm not mad about that either.
Okay.
But we still have Apollo, so we have another almost 10 years before we can kick him out. So. So it should be a lot of fun.
And you've been around Apollo, especially since he was a baby. I mean, you have helped raise these boys, and I just think of the beautiful bond that you have and the role that you have taken on as a stepfather. How have they changed your life?
Well, in every possible way. You know, I learned, you know, quickly, not because anything happened, but just, you know, reading the room. You really have to take a step back, and it's, when people say it's not about you anymore when you have a kid, I mean, it truly, I think if you're doing it right, it's not about you anymore. That's true, and I've learned that any splash I make, anything I do, it gets on them too, you know, and anything I say or that happens, you know, in the public eye, you know, I take that hard. I take that serious, and you know, I've had a lot of people, especially friends, be like, "Man, how come you're not on? Never hear you say anything on social media or anything." You must say, "Yeah, I deleted it. I don't even have that stuff anymore, because it's just there's no upside to it compared to what could be the downside, you know." And I don't ever want anything that I ever do or say to get on the kids.
Right.
And so in that way, they've changed my life a lot, you know, because I just want to step back, and this is their time, you know.
It's not just you anymore. It's three boys, almost men.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part about being with them? What is that dynamic like?
I think for me is the discovery part of where they're at, you know, because I get to teach them the country, you know, and that, I love that, you know. Whether it's music, whether it's literally, you know, getting out, getting their hands in the dirt, or you know, being out on the ranch, seeing the animals, whatever, you know, I absolutely love being the person that gets to introduce them to that stuff.
And then Apollo starts dressing like you.
Yeah, that's right. Zuma's really going through a country thing right now. I'm hoping he's not just going through it. I think he's just found out who he is. You know, I mean, he's definitely a boots and jeans guy now, but he's found his own country artists. You know, he's now teaching me who some of these people are. I didn't know who Zach Bryan was until last year when Zuma introduced me to his records, and we went to a concert, and now I'm a big fan, you know. So, and there's a lot of that. Almost every week he's introducing me to someone I didn't know about. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You told me a couple years ago that everything takes a backseat to Gwen and the boys.
Yeah.
It is very evident how you are living your best life out on the farm and how much you love that family time. But what type of project could come along that you would be interested in enough to leave the farm for a minute?
Yeah. Well, man, I hadn't made an album in years, and so I feel like I probably need to do that at some point. Because that never goes away in the back of my mind, and that's still what I do.
And you still love it.
Yeah, I still love it, and I just wanted to take some time and just not think about anything like that for a while, and I don't want to take too much time and it not still be there for me when I step back in, but that could happen too. I don't know, but right now I'd like to at least start thinking about making a new record and seeing if there's still people out there that want something like that from me. You never know.
I mean, you sell out every tour stop.
A lot of these people may be dead.
Stop.
That used to buy my records. Okay.
Stop. You've told me before too, like how you'll play here whenever you're in town and entertain, you know, the crowds here as much as you can. But have you ever entertained the idea of a full-blown Vegas residency here on the Strip?
Yeah, we have. I mean, look, when you do what I do, and Vegas comes up a lot in every conversation, you know. I think with every artist, you know, it's like, hey, you got this offer, or do you want to go look for that? And it's definitely in the cards for me. I mean, we've been in talks a couple of years ago, and it went away, and then it comes back, and it goes away. But just I've learned enough about the industry that if that starts, it's going to happen sooner or later. So I would say, yeah, I'm going to do something like that. I don't know when or where, and now that I have Ole Red here on the Strip, you know, I need to do it. You know, I feel like it's important for me to branch out and not just have it be about this location, but you know, going to one of these theaters or wherever they have these residencies, and do one for a minute. You know, it doesn't have to be a long-term thing.
Right. You could check in on the venue at any time.
That's right.
And then you're gonna be here. You're gonna be down the street. Yeah. That strip's gonna be renamed the Blake Shelton Strip.
I hope so. It's about damn time.